Hi everybody, it's Bonka922 here. Well, finally, Fairy Tale chapter came. Man, wait so long. I waited till next day. Okay. Yeah. Well, beginning we get a color page, and before I go in, this is the review for chapter 279. Getting close to 300. Getting close. Only like 20 more until 300. Chapter 300. But 279, The Gateway Hidden in Darkness. And pretty much beginning, we get it, like I said, we get a color page. You know, everyone's there with Elfman saying, you know, he's hurt, he's recovering from his injuries from the fight, so on and so forth. And she's like, oh, you're awesome, Elfman, And we get a scene, another color page. It says Fairy Tale, we're the strongest. And you get like a dragon in the background. Don't know what that's about. And pretty much it's just them talking with Elfman and talking to him, and then saying that, Wendy's there, and she's basically saying, I'll take over for you now. You can rest and heal your injuries. And then Freed, Big Slow, and Evergreen are there. And basically the story is they're going to stay there to guard Elfman because of what happened with Wendy. Now, as they're walking along in the hallway, ready to go back to the action, to find out, to see the next fight. And pretty much, I'm not going to go for word on this, but basically what's happening is Charles, Cat, she's with them, and they're talking about Raventail. Well, they're walking around, and they're talking about Raventail and the fact that they were the ones responsible for this, what happened before, when Wendy got kidnapped, when Wendy and Polyustica and Charlotte got kidnapped. And basically, the whole story was that, and she's explaining in this map, Raventail was using some bandit guild to try to capture Lucy. However, they mistook their target and failed doubly after Natsu went after them. And she's going on to say how there's one wizard in Raventail who has the ability to zero in an instant, and that was that little creature guy. And the other guy, obviously, that nullified Lucy's attack during the first day. That guy with the long nosy. Being nullified on the first day as well. And they're basically talking about this, that, they were going after Lucy and so on and so forth. And, that's why I wonder. So, basically what's happening is Charlotte is wondering that it might not be Raventail who did this. Because they could have been involved, but they weren't. They send these guys to go after Lucy instead. So it's very, we don't know. So, and that's basically what happened. It's sort of the introduction to the idea that somebody in this tournament, somebody there, is targeting Lucy. And we find out, in the end, even more shocking events. Really was targeted. And then we go in to the match. Okay. There really is nothing to say about this match. It's Mirajane from Fairy Tale B versus Blue Pegasus Reserve member Jenny Reelite. Okay, the reason why she's a reserve member is because Ichiya-san, he got knocked out during the whole, competition part. He couldn't do it. So, how do I describe this match? One word. Fan service. Fan service. Fan service. Fan service. And then basically they're returning and everything, and then Charlotte's basically saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go cheer for them. Do your best, Mirajane." And everyone's faces are like, "What?" And what happens? And just for shits and giggles, I might put this on my YouTube channel. I'm sorry, the channel. I'll put that picture up there, even though probably people won't see it. I'll still do it because let me tell you something. I'm convinced that Hero, he has to have fan service. It's an obsession. It must be there. I mean, do I hate fan service? No. No. Do I want it all the time? Well, not all the time. I mean, you like to see a good fight. I mean, you like to see some action, But this was interesting. I mean, there was not... Because the whole purpose was Jenny and Mirajane, 7 years ago, they were competing in Sorcerer Weekly as models. And basically, they decide not to fight, and instead to pose with swimsuits. And it goes back and forth. They switch swimsuits, they switch costumes. It's back and forth. And that's when, down the line, they decide to make a bet. What's the bet, you say? Well, it's simple. If whoever wins, the loser has to pose in Sorcerer Weekly in the buff, naked. So, and they're basically fighting this way, and so on and so forth. And then that's when Jenny, my brother says that sometimes because of Forrest Gump. Anyway, they decide to bring out their big guns, their last hurrah, if you will. And it's like a tight race between them, and then it's just the final form. And Mirajane goes, Satan Soul. That's what she says here. It says nude and weekly sorcery. Sure thing. She agrees to it. And it's like, oh my god. Like, are you freaking kidding me? You're agreeing to it? And then she agrees to it. And then, you figure, Jenny thinks, I'm going to win this. I'm going to beat her. And then she's going to be nude. This is my battlefield, according to the plan. And then, all of a sudden, here comes Mirajane in the most evil-looking Satan Soul attire I've ever seen her in. And you know what's weird? It looks like she's standing in flames. I don't know. It was very strange. It looks like flames coming out. It's like her feet are attached to these flames. I had no idea what the hell that was about. But anyway, she's just... It's not even a challenge. And she says, hey. She basically looks at her and she says, hey. And just attacks her. And boom! Match over. And it's just like this epic thing where she's like, frong, and then she knocks her out. And then she says an interesting thing with saying, I look forward to seeing you in your birthday suit. Kind of ridiculous. Now, that obviously is not the reason why I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. And now, both teams of Fairy Tail have 12 points. So they're tied with Quattro Cerberus going in the ending of day 2. He says, I look forward to seeing you in your birthday suit. Then we get an interesting conversation. This is the meat and potatoes of the chapter, in my opinion. Between Arcadios and this new guy, this new character named Daytong. So Daytong and Arcadios, they're talking, and he's basically telling him, why are you trying to get your hands on the stellar spirit magic mage? And saying and he's basically telling him it's not ready yet. Whatever they're trying to invoke, he's saying Daytong's basically saying it's not ready yet. You need to stop this. You're going to ruin the plans. More had been finished yet. That's what he was previously telling him. It hadn't been finished yet. Stop doing it. And he says, common knowledge that you've been opposed to the Eclipse plan. However, now that it's come this far, we can no longer stop. Are you a demon? He says. And then he says, for the sake of his king, for the sake of this country, a man can become a demon or a god. And then we get this interesting page at the very end. And I'm going to read it right off the bat here. Before Eclipse, the gateway to changing the world. The price of a single girl's life is indeed quite cheap. So basically what that tells me, they intend to sacrifice Lucy for this Eclipse plan. Whatever it does, I don't know what it does so far, but it seems like it's some gateway. It's a gateway, and it's supposed to do something. We don't know what yet, but they intend to sacrifice Lucy. They intend to sacrifice Lucy. This is pretty heavy shit. This is pretty heavy shit. I like what I see. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. The fight, okay, yeah, fan service. But hey, anyone who reads and watches Fairy Tail and looks you dead in the eye and say, I hate fan service, is lying their ass off. Because let's be honest here, Mirajane is hot. Simple as that. Fan service. You know? But that's not the reason I gave it a 4 or 5. The reason I gave it a 4 or 5 was the end. And this is now becoming a really serious situation. It's getting down to the part where you're like, wow. So they intend to sacrifice Lucy for whatever this plan is. Now, according to the premonitions we've seen of Charlotte's premonitions, you know, it's to suggest that maybe that she stops it somehow. I mean, we see in her premonition, she says she saw Lucy singing. This is very interesting where this is going. And, you know, I just wonder where this is going to go to. So, but we'll have to see about that. But what did you guys think about the chapter? I like the thing in the my favorite part in this chapter was obviously the ending. The fight, I think the next couple of fights are going to be good. Day 3 will not be disappointing. Day 3 and 4 are going to be good. You have my approval on that. So anyway, that's my story on it. What'd you guys think? Comments below. This has been Bonk, and I want to see you guys later. Thumbs up for fan service? I guess so. See you guys later.